More Than Words with Wendy Damanari.
Are you someone who likes to people watch, taking note of body language of others? I spoke with Wendy Damanari from Work Ready NQ a short time ago about body language. I asked, what is it and why is it important?
It's really the non-verbal part of communicating. So it's all those physical gestures, facial expressions, and it also includes the tone of your voice as well. There are lots of different statistics about that, but they say that body language accounts for anywhere between about 55 and 80% of our communications, which will surprise a lot of people, or maybe not.
Yeah. Well, and it's easy to say, sometimes you'll ask, how are you? And they'll say, good. But what their body's saying and what their voice is saying is not aligning with what the words that they're saying.
That's right. And that's, one of the things we've got to really look at is that non-alignment with what we say and what we are saying without talking. And that's very, very important. So why is it important? Okay. It's important at work because when you have appropriate and good body language, you convey confidence, you convey interest, you convey engagement and commitment in your work. And these all go to building trust and credibility with other people. If your body language is poor or inappropriate, then it's got the opposite effect.
Yeah, it can show how interested you are or how engaged you are with your work.
Exactly.
And even beyond work too, when you're just having conversations with your friends and family.
That's right.
It gives you key messages, and it is really important to helping connect with people, isn't it?
Absolutely. Because it's not just the words, it's also, the way we look at people when we speak. It's the tone in our voice, the volume, the resonance in our voice. It's all the little physical gestures. It's the silences. Like now. Those silent pauses, are very important and can have a huge impact.
They all tell part of the story.
Yeah.
What are some poor body language traits that we need to watch out for?
Okay, so if we have a look at poor body language and the sorts of things that will have a negative impact on our communication with people, we're looking at our physical gestures for a start. So it'll be how we hold ourselves. It might be if we're crossing our arms, if we're slouching, if our eyes are averted. There is something to be said there. We need to be very aware that in some cultures that it is not appropriate to look directly at people. So we should be have some cultural awareness of certain gestures and eye gazes as well. We have also the tone of our voice, the volume, the pace, the pitch of our voice, how we speak, the language we use. Our facial expressions. Apparently we have more than 20 different muscles in our face, craniofacial muscles. I can't tell you exactly what they are. I have got a list of them somewhere, but they are every one of them is responsible for lots of different expressions. So, it's very important in the way we might raise our eyebrows or blink or the way we use our mouth, how we use that. So all of those things can have a huge impact. And I'll give you some ideas soon about the impact that it has.
Yeah. So when we have poor communication, and like you say, they can be things like crossed arms. And okay, I'm going to sit up straight and I'm going to uncross my arms and make sure I'm showing you that I'm looking into your eyes and paying attention to you. And it really has an impact when people are showing us that they're maybe not as interested as even if their words are saying that.
That's right. Look, the sorts of impacts that can have reduced credibility. So, that slouching, avoiding eye contact, other types of body language that's poor like that can convey a lack of confidence, can make it very difficult for people to even trust you. So it raises trust issues, or to take you seriously, to take your abilities, your competence seriously. Look, it can lead to poor communication. We talked in the beginning about that non-alignment between verbal and non-verbal communication. So it can even impact the message. It can cloud what we're trying to say. You can end up sending out confused messages that lead to a lot of misunderstandings between people. A third negative impact is the impact it can have on your relationships with people you work with. So this all goes back again to that trust. And how you build those relationships with people. If you're sending out mixed messages and you're communicating with your body language, perhaps some sort of aggressivity or passive aggressiveness, and perhaps you've seen that yourself. You might hear people saying something, but their body language is conveying something else. And how does that make you feel?
Yeah.
What kind of feelings is that raising? And then how does that affect, your relationships with others?
Yeah. Yeah.
It can also go as far as even limiting your professional opportunities to get ahead in your career for promotions. If people are not sensing that they're dealing with someone authentic, or even, if you are coming across as aggressive or manipulative or passive aggressive or submissive, not coming across as assertive or confident, then that's going to have quite the impact on how people view you and potential work opportunities that might come your way.
So let's have a think about what are some tips that you might have for us to brush up on our body language so we are sending clear and concise maybe messages, sending clear messages about how we want to be portrayed.
Okay, so this involves obviously being quite self-aware to start with. Just take a deep breath and start thinking of how you are holding yourself for a start. Think about, you might even want to, practice in the mirror, or, if you're walking past, you might even want to get some feedback from other people. So think about how you're holding yourself, your back, your neck, your face, your hands. Your hands and your arms are very important. Are your fingers and hands clenched? Do you even realize that? So the first step is self-awareness of how you're holding yourself. Record yourself speaking. It's something that it's very difficult for us to really understand how we come across, how our voices are. And often we're quite surprised when we hear our voice. And so have a practice speaking. You should, as a general rule, speak around about 150 to 160 words a minute. Try slowing things down. Pause, take a breath. And as I said before, pauses are very important. So your voice, think about your facial expressions. Do people often say to you, you look worried, what's wrong? And you'll say, no, I'm not worried. I'm fine.
That's just my face.
Yeah, that's just my face. And then you suddenly realize, oh, have I got a bit of a frown or am I looking a bit anxious or do I have a bit of a sad look about? So, be a little bit more aware of that for sure.
That's Wendy Demonari from Work Ready NQ.